Manga-Waido.
My name is Takayo Terada. I'm 16. I don't like to brag, but I'm a well-known delinquent. It's pretty normal for me to fight and steal money. I can't count on one hand how many times I've had run-ins with the police. My mom, who works in an elderly home, was working day and night. I always caused trouble for her. Dad? I don't have one. My dad found another woman and left my mom 5 years ago. I've been living with my mom in this dirty little apartment ever since. My mom is just tired of how much of a delinquent I am.
Takayo, stop hanging around all of your bad friends. I'm so sad for you.
Shut the hell up and leave me alone, you old hag. I didn't care if she was crying. I didn't stop hanging around delinquent friends. I didn't want to study, and I didn't care about my future. All that mattered was that I was having fun right now. Recently, my friend Yaguchi and Ida have been looking for old men to steal money from. Old, middle-aged men who know nothing but how to go to work and go home. They're pretty fun to steal money from. That was my obvious goal. But the real story was different. Every time I saw an old man crying and asking for forgiveness, it was because I was seeing my father in them.
I'm never gonna forgive you, asshole.
There were no people to steal from at the park. We moved locations and went under the bridge to wait for our victim. Someone came wearing a worn-out suit. Nice, boring-looking dude. Looks like he's exhausted with his life. Time to go. Time to go. Hey, old man, need to pay a fee if you want to go through here. What? I came here without paying yesterday. That was yesterday. Today is today. Give us your money. We closed in on the old man. He was backing off, but one of mine swiftly ran behind him and he was not able to run away. Don't try to run away. You want to feel a little pain so you're more easy to get along with, huh? I guess it can't be helped. Just so you know, this old man is pretty darn strong. You sure you're not drunk, old man? I'll make sure you're knocked out after this! Right as he was about to get hit, I saw him tuck and roll out of the way of the swing. It was a single second before he disappeared from my line of sight. Ida, who swung his entire body, slipped and fell on the ground. What happened? You didn't hit me. You sleepwalking? The three of us bought right into that and started jumping the old man. However, he disappeared again. We started yelling at each other out of frustration. You guys are pretty slow considering how much you seem to want to fight. You little... No matter how hard any of us tried, the results were the same. Not a single one of us managed to even scratch him. We would try to grab him and he would just get away. Eventually, the two of them collapsed on the ground after being exhausted. Damn it! I won't lose! He grabbed my swing with one hand. Completely effortless and without a single moment of hesitation. You have a good swing. I feel like your punches are a little bit better than the other two. He shoved me and my swing away, and I collapsed onto the ground. So, what are you gonna do? Damn it! You better watch your back! We weren't able to lay a single finger on the old man, and ran away. The next day, I went to the place under the bridge alone. I waited for him to show up. Eventually, he showed up at around the same time. He looked tired, as usual. Hey, old man! Stop. Oh, hey! It's just you today, huh? I had to come to ask him a question. You said that I was different from the other two yesterday. I needed to know what you meant. He laughed after I asked him. I meant that real fists don't lie. You didn't really care about my money, am I right? He was right. I was doing this out of revenge. I just wanted to blow off steam to anyone who was remotely like my shitty dad. Hey, You have great technique. Why don't you go to a boxing gym that a friend of mine runs? Me? Boxing? The old man said his name was Kenzo Takamura. As you might have guessed already, he was an ex-professional boxer. The doctors told me that I would go blind if I kept it up. So I gave up. I could never be the champ. I was doing pretty good. That makes sense. I'm just a regular old office worker now. So, are you interested? I mean, I don't mind going. I don't know why I answered that way, to be honest with you. I just figured that if I did accept, something would change. That was it. 2 days later, I was invited by Mr. Takamura to the boxing gym. It was $50 a month, and I figured I could make enough to pay for that by working some easy part-time jobs. My friends were a little confused by my change of heart, but they were cheering for me. Ah, that old guy was a professional boxer, huh? I guess it makes sense why we'd lose. I mean, if that's what you want to do, go for it. Good luck. I gave the consent form to my mom. I asked her to let me go to the boxing gym and bowed for permission.
I'd rather you do this than hang out like some delinquent and wander aimlessly. If you're gonna do it, give it your all.
This was how I officially joined a boxing gym with my mother's blessing. The training gym was tough. I asked them to make it tough. There were only a few people, including me, at the gym, and I was always training.
Not yet! You're not done! Jab, jab, jab!
I lived and breathed boxing. It felt good to just sweat it all out. I was changing. Sometimes Mr. Takamura would stop by to see how I was doing. He would give me advice. You should use your footwork to your advantage. Practice your ducking and swaying to really avoid the opponent's swings. Eventually, I went to a boxing match at a sporting festival. However...
Hey, what's going on? You keep getting hit! Stop letting your guard down!
Sorry, sir. As I started going to matches, I realized I was in a slump and I started losing my edge. I was in the locker rooms, a little down, when Mr. Takamura came wandering in to listen to me. I don't know how to explain it, but the more I like boxing, the more I question if I'm doing the right thing. What are you talking about? The right thing? I'm basically just trying to find someone instead of my dad to hit. I was still hating my father at this time. I couldn't let it go. I don't know if I should be in the ring holding all these terrible emotions inside! He smacked my back hard and cheered me up. There are no pure or non-pure reasons to box. Most boxers have their reasons. Really? Whatever the case is, you need to give it your all. That's it. Swing away. That's what the boxing ring is for. Yes, sir. You don't need to take it easy. Just push forward, Tarada. I'll be watching you. Thank you. I felt like I understood what he was saying, but I also felt confused by what he said. It didn't matter, though. Because of what he said, I was able to push through it. Afterwards, I was able to practice and give it my all. I got my edge back. I didn't care about my father. I was going to pave my own future. That's how I felt. Then, I started boxing. Mr. Takamura was cheering me on while I was nervous. You've got this! Just do your usual thing! Show me the moves you had under the bridge that one night! I was stupid. I didn't know anything. I didn't try anything. I'm not that same person anymore. I was laughing at how stupid I used to be. I was able to go into the match relaxed. Thanks to him. I knocked out my opponent in 2 rounds, and I was on a roll. The tournament was a round robin. There was no single match games like a professional, so it was a rough considering there was no breaks. Your opponents gradually got a lot tougher too. I was concerned by my opponent in the semifinals after I had just knocked out my other opponent. That's when Mr. Takamura yelled at me from the seats. Move your feet, Takeo! What is your strength? I'd lost my focus, but I immediately found it again. I put in a feint right hook, and I slipped out the left. He was also pushing into my legs. As soon as he lost his momentum, I knocked him out. I was in the championships now, but by then, my beginner's luck had run out. It was the second round. A minute into the second half, I took a pretty sharp left hook to the face. It was the first time I fell onto the ring. I couldn't get back up. My tourney ended at the semifinals. It was pretty impressive, considering it was my first time boxing in a tournament. When I asked my mother about the tournament, she said she didn't want to see her little boy getting hit. But she was right in the front row seat. She was crying and waving at me. Mr. Takamura was also moved by the whole event. He was holding back tears and cheering on with his gym friends. I'm so glad I've started boxing. I'm so happy. A few days later, I started really looking to become a professional boxer. I told Mr. Takamura about my aspiration. I see. A professional boxer, huh? I think you know this, but professional boxing is tough. I understand. I talked with my mom about it. She agreed to it. So, I want you to really teach me to the best of your abilities. Please, don't hold back.
What? You want me to teach you?
I mean, it makes sense, I guess. I'm the one who dragged you into this. I started training again every day. I had no fear or doubt anymore. It wasn't the negative feelings driving me anymore. The scars were healing. And it hurt sometimes that my father left me. But I knew that I wouldn't lose track of why I did this. I'm going to beat the past. I got back into the ring.